Welcome to 40k Dataslate Review. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the Astra Militarum unit, Infantry Squads.
40k Dataslate Review.
The forever staple of Imperial Guard, the humble Guardsmen. The unmodified epitome of a human being in the 41st millennia. The stat line of the Infantry Squad is effectively the baseline for all other models. 6-inch move, 4s to hit, a strength and toughness of 3, leadership 7, and a 5-up save. These models aren't winning any awards. The standard Guardsman comes with just a lasgun and frag grenades. The lasgun is a boring strength 3 rapid-fire weapon. The model doesn't even have any special rules themselves, so why are they still so common in Astra Militarum forces? To start, they have quite a few options for additional war gear and special weapons. 2 Guardsmen in a unit may form a heavy weapon team by purchasing a weapon taken from a list. Heavy weapons consist of mortars, autocannons, heavy bolters, missile launchers, or las cannons. I won't go through each of these individually, but whatever the Astra Militarum army needs a few more of, your infantry got your back. One of the more popular options is the Mortar, 5 additional points for a 48-inch heavy D6 weapon with strength 4. The point of interest is that this weapon can fire at units out of line of sight, effectively giving a mortar free reign of the board. This weapon is perfect for killing hordes, but don't rely on 1 or 2. A player will need quite a few to start wiping out infantry. Many of the other weapons have their place, but the mortar is cheap and is really versatile as it can be positioned almost anywhere on the battlefield. In addition to this heavy weapon team, 1 Guardsman may also take a special weapon. The list of special weapons consists of sniper rifles, flamers, grenade launchers, melta guns, and plasma guns. Pretty much all of these weapons are powerful, but they are not all well suited to be toted around by Guardsmen. I'm not sure any of these weapons are really worth their points unless those points were left over anyway. Maybe a grenade launcher would be kinda nice to shoot out a crack grenade on some weakened targets. The Sergeant of the squad has some melee and pistol options, but whatever is free should pretty much be his loadout. If you're feeling lucky, maybe a plasma pistol will sometimes prove worthwhile. Finally, 1 Guardsman may also take a Voxcaster. This war gear allows nearby officers to use their voice of command ability to give orders from 18 inches away, so long as the recipient also has a Voxcaster. This is another item that is probably a bit more points than you need to invest in your Guardsman squads, but if your army relies heavily around a couple officers giving orders, maybe this will come in handy. Infantry squads come in units of 10 and cost 4 points each. These models are some of the cheapest infantry in the game and still serve a purpose. Guardsmen make perfect chaff models as well as objective holders. Don't expect your infantry squad to do much damage, even with the heavy weapon team, unless it is being backed up by a few other infantry squads with similar loadouts. The bare bone, 10 model, 40-point Guardsman unit is going to be pretty common. Even though relying on Guardsmen to do damage or even hold a flank is ill-advised, the models do have access to some synergies to allow them to do more than provide a meat shield. The benefits of regimental doctrines are mostly lost on Guardsmen, but Cadshan is worth noting in that it makes the models strength 4 and leadership 8, making them somewhat sturdier. Moving on to stratagems, a few provide a boost to the infantry squad. Fire on my position is a neat, albeit expensive stratagem. Provided the unit has a Voxcaster, use the stratagem when the infantry squad is destroyed. Every enemy unit within 3 inches suffers D3 mortal wounds on a 4-up. Consolidate Squads is another stratagem that may come in handy. This ability allows 2 units from the same regiment to combine forces, making 1 unit. Take Cover is a stratagem that may be a bit more than you're willing to use to keep your infantry squad alive, but it will add +1 to saving rolls in the enemy shooting phase. While in cover, and with this stratagem activated, the Guardsman would have a decent 3-up armor save. Grenadiers is another stratagem, and this one allows all the models in the unit to throw grenades in Overwatch. This may come in handy to give a surprising 10d6 Overwatch attacks. Between stratagems, units, and psychic powers, Astra Militarum have plenty of ways to mitigate morale tests. Officio Perfectus Command Tank is a stratagem that allows the player to choose a Leman Russ before the game starts. Models within 6 inches of the Russ gain leadership 9. Another way to mitigate morale is Fight to the Death. The stratagem allows the player to roll D3 instead of D6 when taking a morale test. Insane Bravery is obviously still an option and automatically passes leadership tests in exchange for 2 command points. The Psychana discipline also offers Mental Fortitude, which allows a unit to automatically pass morale. Also to protect your Guardsmen is Psychic Barrier and Night Shroud, 2 psychic powers to give the models +1 to save and -1 for incoming to hit rolls respectively. In reality, an Astra Militarum player will likely have better targets than Guardsmen for all these buffs. There are quite a few units to benefit the Guardsmen. The Chimera is a vehicle that can transport your whole infantry squad plus up to 2 other characters. Place guard in there to move them down the field in relative safety to grab a far-off objective. Everyone keeps hating on them, but Commissars still provide solid leadership protection for a very cheap price point. One of the most unique features of the Astra Militarum force are orders, and orders are where the infantry squads shine above many other baseline infantry. An officer within 6 inches may issue an order to an infantry squad of the same regiment using their voice of command ability. There are 7 different orders and 8 unique regimental orders, so I won't read through all 15 of them. I will just highlight some of the better ones. Get Back in the Fight is great to allow a unit to fire even after retreating. Move, Move, Move allows the unit to move in the shooting phase and even gets to advance, making a squad of infantry run a surprising distance up the field. In the Mortian-specific order, Form Firing Squad allows a unit to target a character even if they are not the closest enemy unit. This would be one of the times where a las cannon or heavy bolter will be effective as the squad's heavy weapon team. They also may benefit from taking a special weapon like a grenade launcher or even plasma gun. In conjunction with volley fire, the Mortian regimental stratagem, they may be able to land a few more attacks on that character when they score 6s to hit. To make the Guardsmen actually somewhat durable, the player will have to reach outside of Astra Militarum. Both Celestine and the Vexillus Praetor offer an invulnerable save. Saint Celestine offers a 6-up invulnerable to Astra Militarum units within 6 inches, and the Praetor provides a 5++ if it is equipped with a Vexilla Defensor and within 9 inches of the Imperium infantry. In either case, add a Psychic Barrier and/or take cover stratagem for a 3-up invulnerable or 2 Guardsman units with 4-up invulnerable saves. This makes for some hardy chaff, but this combo is quite expensive, so the player should already be taking Astra Militarum and Adeptus Custodes to really make use of it. Infantry squads will become quite popular with the changes from the big FAQ. Astra Militarum will regularly be seen as CP batteries to Imperium armies. This means players will put in a battalion of guard for 5 command points for only around 200 points. Not only that, but the player can take the Imperial Guard Warlord trait and artifact that grant additional command points as each player uses stratagems. With the inclusion of the rule of 3 for match play, Astra Militarum players will not be able to take between 4 and 6 squads of heavy weapon teams all using mortars, like many players have done in the past. These extra mortars may find their way into the infantry squads to spread out the damage. Astra Militarum infantry squads receive a 4 out of 5. They may not do much, but for their price point, they offer quite a few uses. What do you think of Astra Militarum infantry squads? What data slate would you like to see reviewed next on the channel? Let me know your suggestions, answers, and thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching.